2013 was the first year Mr. Olympia will hold a contest for the newly formed men's physique division. Board shorts instead of posing trunks and a less muscular beach body look, it was a stark contrast from the open division that everyone's familiar with. The winner of the first year was Mark Anthony, a Canadian originally from Trinidad and Tobago. Mark had won almost every show he competed in that year, making him the clear favorite. The second place finisher was Jeremy Buendia from Rocklin, California. Jeremy would turn out to be a mainstay in this contest for the next several years. And so on September 28th in Las Vegas, Nevada, Mark Anthony became the first men's physique champion. 2014 would have a much different look. The second place finisher from the previous year, Jeremy Buendia, had teamed up with legendary coach Hani Rambod. Jeremy would go toe-to-toe with Sadiq Hadzovic. Originally from Yugoslavia, Sadiq had emigrated to the US with his family as a kid. Sadiq had placed fourth the year before and would be significantly more conditioned this year. Undoubtedly the better poser, many thought Sadiq would triumph this year, but Jeremy's incredible shape paired with a seemingly non-existent waist would set the standard for men's physique for the next several years to come. 2015 would be another extremely close race between Jeremy and Sadiq, but the contest was certainly Jeremy's to lose. Now in its third year at the Mr. Olympia, the men's physique division was starting to evolve. The shorts were getting higher and the physiques more conditioned. As the reigning champ, Jeremy came into the year confident. He no longer had to qualify through a pro show to get there, so the Olympia was his one and only focus that year. As the runner-up the year before, Sadiq felt his chances were good to win. With lights-out conditioning, aesthetic genetics, and superior posing, Sadiq hadn't made the judge's job easy. But Jeremy had firmly established his dominance at this point, and the 2015 title was all but won. 2015 was also the first year we would see notable future contenders like Ryan Terry and Brandon Hendrickson. Entering the 2016 season, Jeremy was now the back-to-back champ. He had a firm grasp on the division, but he also made a few enemies along the way. Dubbed the Conor McGregor of bodybuilding, he wasn't interested in making friends. He was focused on winning his third title. With Sadiq switching to the classic division, he was no longer standing in Jeremy's way. With excellent conditioning, a microscopic waist, and remarkable shape, there was no doubt that Jeremy was truly the standard. This year, Ryan Terry would leapfrog from 4th place into 2nd, with other notable placings being Brandon Hendrickson at 4th, Andre Ferguson at 5th, and Logan Franklin at 9th. 2016 was sort of the changing of the guard from the original competitors to the new wave of competitors that would fight for the title for the next several years. 2017 was yet another dominant year for Jeremy Buendia. Perhaps his most decisive victory yet, with a final score of 5, the second-place finisher Andre Ferguson had a final score of 11. The self-proclaimed greatest of all time, it was hard to argue with his 4 straight victories. Andre Ferguson from Long Island, New York, had a meteoric rise through the division, qualifying for the Olympia in just his first year as a pro. And on September 16, 2017, Jeremy became the undisputed king of the men's physique division.
Switch, please.
After an injury at the beginning of the year, Jeremy Buendia hadn't planned on competing in 2018, but with 12 weeks left, him and Hani decided to go for a 5th title. With a torn pec, it was clear there was to be a new champion in the men's physique division.
And new Olympia champion,
Brandon Hendrickson from Chicago, Illinois was here to stay. Brandon had made his first appearance in 2015, placing 5th, and had slowly improved his placings each year up until this point. It was 2019. The reign of Jeremy Buendia was over. Brandon Hendrickson was here to claim his 2nd title, but he had shown up this year off, and it was clear after prejudging that there was going to be a new champion once again. Andre Ferguson had placed 2nd in 2017, but had fallen to 5th the next year. Always known for his top-tier conditioning, it was between him and newcomer Raymont Edmonds. Raymont, the tallest men's physique competitor up to this point, at 6'1", had placed 2nd the year prior and was undeniable this year. Raymont had had a troubled past. After serving 3 years in state prison, he had risen from the ashes and achieved the highest possible accolade in the sport. "2020 was a strange year for obvious reasons. Las Vegas had been the home of Mr. Olympia since 1999, but due to a certain situation the entire world was going through at that time, it was moved to Orlando, Florida to ensure the fans would be able to attend the event. Brandon showed up this year as sharp as he'd ever looked, while the reigning champ, Raymont, was there to collect his 2nd chip. Raymont was dominant from the back, while Brandon sported one of the best front shots in men's physique history. After prejudging, it was obvious Raymont and Brandon were top 2, but it was still unclear which was number 1 and which was number 2. As the incumbent Mr. Olympia, Raymont felt it needed to be decisive in order to crown a new champion. But on December 19, 2020, Brandon Hendrickson became only the 2nd competitor to win multiple Mr. Olympia titles. There was a newcomer in 2021, and he had the best back that the division had ever seen. It was Erin Banks from Fresno, California, and he had visions of grandeur. But there was a problem. Brandon Hendrickson was still around, and he had a new coach, Neil Hill. Neil had helped elevate Brandon to the next level, and he showed up this year improved. But Erin was a monster, and he had gone pro in his first 4 months being in the sport. He had the back and the uncanny ability to get under the skin of all the other competitors. At 6'2", he essentially dwarfed Brandon on stage, but he was a rookie, and rookies don't win the Olympia. Brandon had him beat from the front still, and even though Erin looked great from the back, he didn't have the whole package like Brandon did. Brandon capitalized on this and put himself in the conversation of the greatest of all time in the division. After making waves in the previous year, Erin Banks came into 2022 with a mission to beat the champ. Nobody else mattered. He had won the Arnold that year and the Boston Pro a week later and had built up a tremendous amount of momentum. The sport hadn't seen such a rapid ascent since it started, and it was safe to say that Brandon and his pursuit for a 4th title was in trouble. Brandon was hard and dry from the front, but as he posed, he continued to get more and more watery in his back. Erin's size and shoulder-to-waist ratio had improved from the year before, and after prejudging, it was evident that the only two that mattered on this day were Erin and Brandon.
And the title of 2022, Men's Physique Olympia Champion, to our winner, and new Olympia Champion, Erin Banks.
Ryan Terry had been competing at the Olympia since 2015 and had placed second before, but he took 2021 off to improve and hadn't placed well in 2022, but this year was much different.
Ryan and Brandon backstage, but don't disappear.
Ryan was a true veteran. He'd been competing since the early days, but never quite made it to the top. His abs were impressive, but his back had always been lacking. However, this year, he would showcase a new and improved back that could stand toe-to-toe with anyone. Brandon, reeling from the devastating loss to Erin Banks, came in this year with a vengeance. His back was striated, and with his signature Henny squeeze, he could all but taste his 4th title. Brandon Hendrickson is absent from the Mr. Olympia for the first time since 2014. Ryan Terry, the returning champ, looks to defend his title. He still has Erin Banks to worry about, but his new focus is another newcomer, 29-year-old out of Afghanistan, Ali Bilal. Ali placed 16th last year, but made notable improvements, particularly in his midsection, and was now in the running for the top spot. Ryan had once again made improvements in his back and was overall much more balanced. Ali gave Ryan a run for his money from the front, but it wasn't close from the back. And ultimately, this is a contest of symmetry, balance, and proportion.
And the title of 2024 Men's Physique Olympia Champion, 2-year winner, and still Olympia Champion, Ryan.
2025 is going to be the most stacked Mr. Olympia we've ever had in men's physique. Brandon Hendrickson will be back. Jeremy Buendia will be back. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to take the crown this year.